Welcome to the Backyard Professor Responds videos. Once again, we have fallout from the FAA announcement, which even our elected president simply fobbed off of. He obviously is not interested at all in getting down to the mystery and the bottom of the mystery of the drones like he said he would. He simply listens to what someone else says and fobs it off as the truth to us, and the FAA is not telling us the truth. Now, before I really do get started, look, copyright issues, for whatever reason, have become really problematic in this YouTube video world we're in. So I'm going to try to show a couple of clips with fair copyright use of copyright videos, which the law says we are supposed to be able to use 3 minutes. I can't take the whole broadcast. I'm not interested in that. But they're not even letting us take 10 seconds on this UFO issue anymore. Now, this is alarming to me personally, but I don't know what to make of it. So I'm going to attempt to show some clips of several reactions. Richard Dolan, one of the premier UFO scholars, George Knapp, who is not even second to Richard Dolan, and Jeremy Corbell, who has also come out swinging against the FAA. If there's copyright issues, I'm going to have to go clip out the clips again, like I did the one on Ross Coulthart and Jake Barber, and repost the video. I'll lose all my original views and comments and likes, etc., just like I did this one. So bear with me. I have always stayed within the copyright lines. I never use clips over 3 minutes. So anyway, I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying, holy crap, it's getting tough to even acknowledge anyone else other than just saying so. I don't get it. It's like they've redone their copyright issue so that you can't use 2 seconds of anyone else's stuff, which is very frustrating and silly. So anyway, and also, just so you're aware, my equipment that I ordered 10 days ago, and I paid for expedited mail so that I could get it last Friday, 6 days ago, we found out what happened. UPS, in their bland stupidity, fobbed my package off to FedEx, who obviously doesn't give a flying flip about speed of mailing. And so it's somewhere between here and there. So I still haven't gotten my equipment. It's all good, I guess. Hopefully I will get it eventually, maybe in another 3 or 4 weeks. I was supposed to have it. Anyway, now I'm just complaining, but I'm complaining anyway. It's because this is an injustice to us all, what the FAA has done. There's absolutely no question. And nobody swallows their swill, not even if President Trump did. We don't, because Trump obviously did not look into the history of the response of the FAA like several excellent scholars did. He doesn't want anything to do with it, obviously, which is a huge disappointment. But did we honestly expect anything else? I mean, sincerely, I was skeptical, even though I was excited that maybe he will do something. Yeah, he told his secretary, hey, go check this out. She went to the FAA and said, oh, it's just ours, no enemies. And she came back and repeated the same old stupid bullshit story, when originally the FAA didn't have any clue who it was. So fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Look, here's my take on all of this before I share some of these clips. This is obviously directing us. Now, nobody's going to tell us the truth. We need to get to that point. Authority are the liars. They will never tell us the truth. So this disclosure idea, and I hate to, based on what I see, the disclosure idea is not going to come from Donald Trump. He don't want to touch it with the 10-foot. He doesn't want to put any time into it whatsoever. That's obvious. The FAA is never going to tell us the truth any more than the military will. What does that leave us? That leaves us with people who are trying to get whistleblowers to talk, and they won't allow us even to use 3-minute clips, which is the copyright fair use. They won't even allow us that. I'm talking about News Nation, Ross Coulthart, Jake Barber, and all of those. All of you YouTube podcasters, don't use any of their material. I'm serious. You will get zapped. Bennett got clobbered with the copyright claim, not a strike, a claim, which means they blocked his video too. So I can't link to it. So anyway, neither here nor there. So what this is leading us to realistically is we need to do our own work. Disclosure is not going to happen through, it'd be great if I'm wrong though, but I'm not, which sucks. Disclosure will not happen through Donald Trump. Disclosure will not happen through the military. They are never going to admit it. I am truly skeptical of that. Now, there are those who are saying, well, this proves the whole thing is BS. No, it absolutely has nothing to do with it. That is what they call in logic terms a non sequitur. It does not follow logically that because no one in authority will admit what they know, it means the whole phenomenon is fake. That does not follow. So I'm still a believer in the UFO, regardless of whether the military ever admits it or not. There's enough in just the written word that is really sensational. And before all of the censorship and coming down and problematic nature of this, what we're dealing with now is a completely different political animal. And then you have all the people who are still continually claiming that they have been visited personally. And you wonder why they're not going to land on Washington, D.C.'s front lawn is because they don't care about our concept of who is important to disclose to and who is not. The NHI, I believe, is the term now. They keep changing the terms. The aliens, they don't like you saying aliens, but they are aliens. The aliens don't have our understanding of space and sky being off tabs, off limits. They don't grasp the idea of our view of nations around the world. They don't care how we delineate the landmass or the oceans, and they certainly don't care who we consider to be an authority. The aliens don't give a flip about any of that. They will go to whom they will go to. So this is a very interesting thing. On this FAA disclosure, you know what? I'm not even going to do the clips. I really do. I don't get it. I don't know why they're doing this now. It really does take away our effectiveness of being able to share information with you from around the world with the news items and stuff. But if I show clips, and I mean, they even gave me permission to use the clip, and then 2 days later, they blocked my channel and said, by the way, we did find copyright issues after all. But they didn't tell me that up front. So it's pretty frustrating from a creator point of view. So I'll tell you what, I need to, let me just do a couple of brief clips. There is no way I'm going to get copyright hit on this, and yet I'll bet they make me take out the clips.
Good afternoon. To anyone who has closely followed the mystery drones over the last few months, White House's statement yesterday was a bit of a disappointment. This came from the new press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, claimed that the drones were simply FAA-approved craft conducting research and other activities, is in her words. It's an extremely inadequate explanation, to put it mildly. It fails to address the extraordinary nature of these sightings, at least as described by the witnesses. Moreover, it doesn't address the global scope of the phenomenon and just the baffling capabilities of the objects involved. So I'm going to give a fairly thorough breakdown of the problems with this explanation.
That you watch his interpretation of that, it's very good. Seriously, it is. Let's look at someone else who also has something to say on this in a most powerful manner, and that will be George Knapp. George Knapp eviscerates with a whole bunch of analysis the entire FAA bullshit party that they think they can get away with. And it's too bad our president won't hold the torch under their feet like he said he was going to. He's on their side, in other words. Who do you turn to? No one in power.
Here live to ask a few of them. George.
Well, the first question that could have been asked by the White House press corps would start with two words. What the? The second question would be, was the entire leadership of the FAA off on a 2-month spelunking retreat deep inside the bowels of the earth and thus didn't know about these mystery drone swarms? I mean, FAA, what's the deal?
That is exactly right. And then he spends the next half hour showing why the FAA statement is a bunch of balderdash. George Knapp, one of the, if not the most premier UFO people on our planet, completely destroys the FAA credibility. And now finally, let's take a look at one more. I am so gun shy to use anybody. I'm really sorry, but it causes a boatload of problems for my channel too. So let's take a look at this, and Jeremy Corbell weighs in. And I'm not interested in whether you like him or not. That's not the issue here. The FAA made a statement. How are we going to respond to this as a UFO community?
Around the New Jersey drones. It's great to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you.
Absolutely. Jeremy, we want your reaction here to the White House coming out with a statement on the New Jersey drone phenomenon. Let's take a listen, and we're going to get your reaction.
And before I turn to questions, I do have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office from President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy.
A lot going on there, Jeremy. So in your expert opinion, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, the explanation is fundamentally nonsensical. I think we all had high hopes for a new era of transparency. Look, for me, on the UAP topic, but also just on a bunch of topics, we're not seeing it in that statement. Let me just give you a little breakdown here. The FAA would not approve research flights without communication with facility heads and same with military bases. You know, did the FAA authorize the ones that buzzed Langley 17 nights in a row? Did they authorize the untrackable drones that infiltrated 3 US and UK air bases? And that was going on for weeks. You know, did the FAA authorize flight restrictions if they had originally authorized these drones? It's absolutely nonsensical. And I'll tell you, I get reports from people that are actually guarding these critical infrastructure sites. What they're seeing through their FLIR and through their thermal, it's not just traditional drones. And so this is an issue of transparency. We had high hopes. We're not getting it. Remember, these drones were not affected by anti-drone technology.
Yes.
So these just weren't approved tests. It's just a blatant, flat-out lie.
Yeah. The other thing that's interesting is How come the FAA wouldn't have been able to tell the Congress, hey, calm down, it's not an Iranian mothership out there in the middle of the Atlantic sending these drones in spying on us or anything like that? How come they let all of that noise go too? So, yeah. So my takeaway from this is we're not going to get disclosure. And I hate to be skeptical because I hope I am wrong, but let's be real. And I do try to. Sure, I spout off sometimes. And yes, I get pretty excited and frustrated at other times. But I believe in the UFOs. I don't believe in the bullshit lies. And I can't stand the meager type of evidence we've been being shown and then being told that we should believe it. So there's no guarantee I'm going to get anything. I think my best evidence that I found was when I interviewed the Tedesco brothers. They're the real deal, it appears to me. And I'm going to try to emulate them on a very, very much smaller scale of trying to go in various different disciplinary types of equipments to discover the UFOs myself. But ultimately, that is what it's going to take. It is going to be a personal effort, and I'm going to make it myself. So that is my last. Hopefully, I won't. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but I won't talk anymore about the FAA unless something really big comes up. But I will leave links to these 3 videos in the description to this video. Every one of them, whether you like them or not, whether you believe them or not, or accept them or not, every one of these guys. And this is just a quick 3 I found. I know Christian Harloff on Down to Earth has been talking about it. Psychoactive has been talking about it. There's been a lot of different people. Vetted has been talking about it. There's been a lot of people talking about this FAA thing. I'm just trying to add my voice saying that if the reliance upon an authoritative figure for truth is not the best way to get the truth. I'll put it that way. Now, when I said that as a Mormon about the church leadership, I got in a lot of hot water. So I am saying this about our government people. They are obviously not interested in giving us truth any more than the religious folks are. And so that leaves it to us. And that's the direction I've been taking. So, I mean, we'll keep looking for more information. I did receive my second book from Gary David on the fascinating correlation with not only the Hopis, but other ancient cultures around the world who were very, very interested in the stars of Orion, the entire constellation, and the star Sirius, which ties in with some people saying that is where they originally came from. They were brought here by the UFOs. That is where they were created, as it were, and then born here, etc. The Hopis are also saying that. It's a remarkable look at more of a historical / mythological analysis. I will share some more of that tomorrow as I have time, as well as further updates and information on any UFO news I get. So thanks for watching the Backyard Professor videos. I appreciate all your support. Welcome to the new subscribers, and I will see you all soon.